Have you ever been stuck at the office, in a hotel room, or out camping suddenly craving a boiled egg butt with no stove in sight? Well, what if all you had was a thermal cup and some boiling water? Could you still cook an egg? In today's video, we're putting this super simple method to the test. No fancy tools, no kitchen needed, just hot water, a thermos, and a little curiosity. Let's find out if it really works and if the results are as surprising as they sound. So here's how this whole idea started. I was at the office one day, craving a boiled egg, but there was no stove, no microwave, nothing. All I had was my trusty thermal cup and a kettle for hot water. That's when I remembered something I'd seen online. A bunch of people were saying you could actually boil an egg just using boiling water and a thermos. No heat source, no fire, just pour and wait. Sounds simple, right? But here's the thing. Most of those posts didn't explain how long it takes. Does the egg really cook all the way through? Is it actually safe to eat afterward? So I thought, why not test it myself? And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let's find out if this method really works or if it's just internet hype. Luckily, I had just what I needed. There was a carton of eggs sitting in the fridge waiting to be used. Perfect timing, right? So I grabbed one, and now we're ready to test this method out. Here's what I've got: 1 egg and 1 thermal cup. This thermos is just the right size, not too big, not too small. It fits the egg comfortably, and most importantly, it has a tight sealing lid. That's key for keeping the heat inside as long as possible. We're basically turning this little cup into a mini, portable hot water oven. No fancy tools, no kitchen, just this setup right here. So let's see what happens next. First things first, we need to make sure the egg is nice and clean before we do anything else. Start by filling a bowl with clean water, just enough to fully submerge the egg. Now, add a small pinch of salt and stir until it dissolves. This salted water will help loosen any dirt or residue on the shell. Gently place the egg into the bowl and let it soak for about 5 minutes. So why are we washing the egg? Well, eggshells can sometimes carry bacteria like salmonella on the surface. Even though we're not cracking the egg open, it's always a good idea to clean it, especially when we're cooking in an unusual way like this. After the 5 minutes are up, take the egg out and rinse it gently under cool, running water. Don't scrub too hard, just enough to get it clean. And here's an important tip. If you just took the egg straight out of the fridge, don't boil it right away. Sudden temperature changes can cause the shell to crack or even make the egg cook unevenly. So give it a minute to come closer to room temperature. Now, pat it dry with a paper towel. And that's it. Our egg is clean, dry, and ready for the next step. Now I'm going to start the experiment with just 1 egg. For this, it's best to use a thermal cup with a slightly wide opening. That way, it's easier to take the egg out later without damaging it. And most importantly, the lid should be tight-fitting to prevent the heat from escaping too quickly. I've just boiled some water 100 degrees Celsius using an electric kettle. I'll pour the hot water into the thermos, filling it all the way to the top. Right after that, I'll gently lower the egg into the cup. If you're worried about the egg cracking when it hits the bottom, you can use a spoon to slowly place it inside. That helps avoid any sudden impact. Now, I'm closing the lid tightly to trap as much heat as possible. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. After the first 15 minutes, I'll quickly open the lid to check if the water is still hot. And yes, it is. There's still visible steam coming out, which means the temperature is holding well. But to keep that heat from escaping, I close the lid right away and let the egg sit for another 10 minutes. This is actually one of the best parts about this method. You don't have to watch over a stove, worry about water boiling over, or keep checking a pot. It's completely hands-off. You can use the wait time to get back to work, check your phone, or just relax. Now that a total of 25 minutes has passed, it's time to see how our egg turned out. I'll open the thermos, and the water is still warm, though not quite as hot as before. I'm taking the egg out and placing it into a bowl of cold water. This will make it easier to peel, And it also helps stop the cooking process so the egg doesn't get overdone. Now the egg is cooling down, and in the next step, we'll see what the inside looks like. Here it is, the egg that we boiled, using only a thermal cup and hot water. As you can see, the shell is still completely intact. No cracks, no leaks. That's a good sign. Now, I'll give it a gentle tap to crack the shell, then roll it lightly under the palm of my hand a few times. And look at that, the shell is peeling off quite easily. That's likely because we dried the egg before cooking and allowed it to sit at room temperature instead of placing it in the hot water straight from the fridge. Those little steps really help. Now let's take a look at the egg white. It's fully cooked firm, smooth, and completely opaque. There is no trace of that translucent, undercooked look. The texture feels just right. Now for the moment of truth, let's cut it open and see what the yolk looks like. The yolk is fully cooked, with a beautiful golden color, but what's impressive is that the texture remains smooth and moist, not dry or crumbly at all. In just 25 minutes, we've got ourselves a simple yet satisfying snack. And if you're a fan of soft-boiled eggs, try reducing the time to around 20 minutes to keep that creamy, slightly runny center. And just like that, you've made yourself a simple, mess-free boiled egg using nothing but a thermal cup and hot water. Of course, the results can vary depending on the type of thermos you use. Some thermal cups retain heat better than others, so the more effective your thermos is at holding temperature, the more consistent and reliable the results will be. So if you've got a decent thermos and some boiling water, this could be a great trick for a quick snack anytime, anywhere. Before you click away, let's take a quick look at something most people usually ignore, what we can actually do with the leftover egg water and the eggshells, instead of just throwing them out. Let's start with the water. After boiling the egg, once the water has cooled down completely, don't pour it down the drain just yet. You can actually use it to water your hydroponic plants or house plants. Why? Because during the cooking process, the eggshell slowly releases small amounts of calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals into the water. These nutrients are great for plant growth, especially in a hydroponic setup where water quality really matters. It's a small but meaningful way to recycle something simple, and your plants will thank you for it. Now let's talk about the eggshells. Instead of tossing them in the trash, take a moment to crush them up into small pieces. You can do this easily with your hands once they're dry, or give them a quick grind with a spoon or mortar and pestle. Eggshells are rich in calcium carbonate and also contain other beneficial minerals like phosphorus and potassium. They act as a slow-release fertilizer when mixed into soil, improving soil structure and giving plants a boost, especially for tomatoes, peppers, and other flowering crops. So go ahead, take those crushed shells and mix them right into the potting soil in your planters or garden beds. Over time, they'll break down and nourish the roots from the inside out. So with just one boiled egg, not only did we get a healthy snack, we also created natural plant food and fertilizer, all from kitchen scraps. We just proved that you can boil an egg using nothing but a thermal cup and hot water, no stove. No fuss. Plus, we found a way to reuse both the water and the eggshells to help your plants thrive. If you found this experiment interesting or helpful, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, or share it with someone who loves simple life hacks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.